Gentlemen, if you're waking up 3 or 4 times every single night just to struggle in the bathroom, your morning glass of water is missing one vital spark that could change everything for your prostate health. We have been told for decades that pumpkin seeds are the holy grail for men over 60. But recent clinical insights into chronic inflammation suggest that there's a common kitchen spice that might actually be far more effective at targeting the root cause of why your prostate continues to grow as you age. Today, we are going to pull back the curtain on the morning ginger ritual and explain why this simple root is becoming the new gold standard for men who want to regain their flow and their confidence without relying on expensive supplements or drastic measures. The prostate is a small gland that causes massive problems for nearly every man as he crosses the threshold of middle age. By the time you reach 70 or 80, the likelihood of experiencing some form of enlargement is almost statistical certainty. However, the way we have been taught to manage it is often reactive rather than proactive. We wait until the flow is a trickle, we wait until the urgency is unbearable, and then we look for a quick fix. What if I told you that the secret to managing this vital part of your anatomy lies in how you manage inflammation the very moment you wake up? Most men reach for coffee or plain water, but by adding one specific bioactive compound to that first drink of the day, you are essentially sending a cooling signal to a gland that is often in a state of constant low-grade fire. I want you to really think about how your body feels right now. If you feel sluggish, if your joints ache, and if your bathroom trips are frequent, your body is screaming at you that its inflammatory markers are too high. This is what researchers call inflammaging. It is the silent driver of almost every age-related condition we face. Now, you might have heard that pumpkin seeds are great because they contain zinc in phytosterols, and while that is true, they often fail to address the systemic inflammation that drives the prostate to expand in the first place. This is where the humble ginger root enters the picture as a clinical powerhouse that most men are completely overlooking. Wait, before you think this is just another old wives' tale or a simple kitchen remedy, I need you to listen to what the latest clinical studies are saying about the specific bioactive compounds found in ginger, known as gingerols and shogols. These are not just flavors for your food. They are potent biological modulators that work similarly to how certain high-end anti-inflammatory compounds work in a laboratory setting. When you ingest ginger in a specific way on an empty stomach, you are allowing these compounds to hit your bloodstream when your body is at its most receptive. This isn't just about nutrition. It is about timing and the specific molecular interaction between the spice and your prostate cells. If you have been feeling like your body is slowing down, this 2-minute morning habit might be the most important thing you do all year. Let us dive deep into the biology of why the prostate grows. As we age, our hormone levels shift, but more importantly, our bodies become less efficient at clearing out cellular waste. This leads to a state of chronic swelling. Imagine your prostate like a sponge that is slowly soaking up water and expanding until it begins to squeeze the tube that carries urine out of your body. Pumpkin seeds provide the raw materials to keep the sponge healthy, but ginger acts like a hand that gently squeezes the excess fluid out. It targets the COX-2 inflammatory pathway, which is the same pathway that many pharmaceutical interventions target, but it does so using the wisdom of nature. This is why men who switch from just eating pumpkin seeds to incorporating a morning ginger tonic often report a significant difference in their flow within just a few weeks. We need to talk about the authenticity of these claims, because there is so much misinformation on the internet today. You will see people telling you to buy exotic berries or expensive powders that cost a fortune. But the truth is that the most powerful tools for healthy aging are often the ones that have been in our cupboards for centuries. The science of ginger is well documented in journals of urology and nutritional science. It is not a miracle cure, but it is a foundational habit. When we look at the data from populations that consume high amounts of ginger, we see lower rates of inflammatory markers across the board. For a man over 60, lower inflammation means a happier prostate, better blood flow, and more energy. Most men ignore the early warning signs because they think it is just a normal part of getting older. You wake up, you feel a bit stiff, you go to the bathroom, and the stream isn't what it used to be. You tell yourself that this is just what happens when you turn 65. But aging does not have to be a process of slow decline. It can be a process of refinement. By understanding the chemistry of your body, you can take control of these symptoms. The reason I am so passionate about the ginger protocol is that it is accessible to everyone. You do not need a prescription. You do not need to spend hundreds of pounds, and you do not need to change your entire life. You just need to change your first 10 minutes of the day. Let us compare the two heavyweights, pumpkin seeds versus ginger. Pumpkin seeds are fantastic for providing zinc, which is essential for prostate fluid health. If you're not eating them, you should probably start. However, zinc is a building block. If the building is already on fire due to inflammation, adding more bricks won't put out the flames. Ginger is the fire extinguisher. By reducing the inflammatory response in the pelvic region, ginger allows the zinc from the pumpkin seeds to actually do its job. This is why I tell my clients that it is not about one or the other. It is about knowing which one provides the spark. The spark for your blood flow and your prostate health is the anti-inflammatory power of fresh ginger. When you prepare your morning water, you want to use fresh ginger root rather than the dried powder if possible. The reason is that the fresh root contains the highest concentration of gingerols. When you grate a small amount into warm water, you're creating an infusion that is easily absorbed by the lining of the stomach. This enters the portal vein and goes straight to work. Many men report that after just 7 days of this ritual, they feel a sense of lightness in their lower abdomen that they haven't felt in years. This isn't magic. It is simply the result of reducing the pressure that an inflamed prostate puts on the surrounding tissues and nerves. I want to speak directly to the men who feel like they have tried everything. Maybe you have tried every supplement on the shelf at the health food store. Maybe you have tried cutting out caffeine or drinking less water at night. If you haven't addressed the systemic inflammation in your body, you are just putting a plaster on a deep wound. The prostate is incredibly sensitive to the environment of the body. If your blood is thick with inflammatory markers from a diet high in processed sugars, or if you are under a lot of stress, your prostate will react by swelling. Ginger helps to thin the metaphorical herd of inflammatory signals, creating a calmer environment for your entire urinary system. We also have to consider the metabolic link. A growing body of research suggests that prostate health is closely tied to how your body handles sugar and insulin. Men with metabolic issues almost always have larger prostates. Ginger has the added benefit of helping to sensitize your cells to insulin, which means it helps regulate your blood sugar levels. When your blood sugar is stable, your inflammation levels drop, and your prostate reaps the rewards. This is the holistic approach to healthy aging that no one tells you about. It is not just about one organ, it is about the entire system working in harmony. Now, let's talk about the psychological impact. There is nothing that makes a man feel older than losing control over his own body. When you have to plan your long drives around bathroom breaks, or when you are constantly tired because your sleep is interrupted every 2 hours, it takes a toll on your confidence. It makes you feel frail. By taking control of your prostate health through natural, authentic methods, you are reclaiming your masculinity and your freedom. You're proving to yourself that you're not a victim of your age, but a master of your health. That psychological shift is just as important as the physical one. If you are worried about the taste, don't be. You only need a small amount, about the size of a thumbnail, to get the benefits. You can add a squeeze of lemon to help with the absorption of the antioxidants, creating a potent morning elixir. Lemon also provides vitamin C, which further supports the immune system and helps to flush out the kidneys. This combination is a powerhouse for any man over 60. It cleanses the system, sparks the metabolism, and targets the prostate all at once. It is the ultimate healthy aging hack that is backed by both tradition and modern science. As we move forward, I want you to remember that consistency is the key. You cannot do this for one day and expect your prostate to shrink overnight. The body takes time to heal. You're undoing years of accumulated inflammation. Give yourself at least 30 days of consistent morning ginger water. Track your bathroom trips. Notice how you feel when you wake up. Pay attention to the strength of your stream. These are the metrics that matter. When you start to see the data for yourself, you will never want to go back to your old routine. I also want to touch upon the importance of blood flow. We know that as men age, circulation becomes a major concern. The same inflammatory markers that affect the prostate also affect the blood vessels. When these vessels are inflamed, they cannot dilate properly, which leads to issues with intimacy and overall energy. Ginger is a natural vasodilator, meaning it helps to relax the blood vessels and improve flow throughout the entire body. This is why some men call it the natural spark for their vitality. By improving the health of your endothelium, you are protecting your heart, your brain, and your manhood all at once. Authenticity in health means looking at the whole picture. While the ginger ritual is powerful, it works best when you also move your body. Even a 20-minute walk after your morning ginger water can help to pump the lymphatic system and further reduce swelling in the legs and pelvic area. Think of your body like a garden. The ginger water is the clean water you use to hydrate the plants, and the movement is the wind that keeps the air fresh and prevents stagnation. Together, they create an environment where you can thrive, regardless of whether you're 60, 70, or 80. I have seen so many men transform their lives by making these small, sustainable changes. They go from being tired and frustrated to being active and vibrant. They stop worrying about the nearest toilet and start focusing on their hobbies, their families, and their lives. This is what healthy aging is truly about. It is not about living forever. It is about living well for as long as possible. It is about having the quality of life that you deserve after decades of hard work. You have earned the right to feel good in your own skin. Before we conclude this deep dive into the power of ginger, I want to address the skeptics. You might think that such a simple thing couldn't possibly make a difference for something as complex as a prostate. But remember, the most complex problems often have the simplest foundations. If the foundation of your health is inflammation, then the foundation of your recovery must be anti-inflammatory. It is basic biology. By giving your body the tools it needs to regulate itself, you are allowing the natural healing processes to take over. I want to thank you for taking the time to invest in your health today. By watching this and educating yourself, you are already ahead of 90% of men your age. You are taking responsibility, and that is the first step toward greatness in your later years. I am proud of the community we are building here at Healthy Aging, where we focus on real, authentic truth rather than the latest marketing gimmicks. We are here to support each other in this journey of growing older with grace, strength, and vitality. Now, I have a question for you, and I really want to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Have you ever tried using ginger for your health? And if so, what changes did you notice in your energy or your bathroom habits? Also, do you think our modern lifestyle makes it harder for men to maintain their prostate health? Or is it just a natural part of the aging process that we have to accept? I read every single comment, and your experiences help other men in this community realize that they are not alone in their struggles. Let us start a conversation and share our wisdom so that we can all age more healthily together. Remember, your health is your greatest wealth. Don't leave it to chance. Take that pinch of ginger tomorrow morning and see what happens. You might just be surprised at how much power is sitting right there in your kitchen. Stay strong, stay informed, and keep moving forward. I will see you in the next video where we will continue to explore the truth about healthy aging that no one else is telling you.